Hello, this is Tom, aka Gedeon, here for Tabletop Tap Room, and Happy New Year! Happy 2023. We're going to be looking back at 2022, like a lot of the TV programs do. The whole look back at 2022, who we've lost, who passed on, that sort of thing. Kind of like that. I'm kind of reminded of that Star Trek episode, Who Mourns for Adonis? Nobody mourns for Adonis. We're going to be looking back at who we lost, but nobody's going to mourn for. So to start with, we have a game, and that game is Star Frontier's New Genesis. Now, nobody's going to mourn this game. This game is gone because the court case, the game designer decided to sue a multi-million-dollar company. And they said, sure, game on. And in court, they got an injunction, and the game has been struck from the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum website store. It is no longer available. Well, it wasn't even available for sale. They listed it and then put it as sold out, out of stock. But it is gone. And it's gone, struck by legal action. But nobody's going to mourn it. It was a game with some really weird obsessions. Like, for example, there was a weird obsession with social groups like BLM and Antifa here. You know, that's and also here's a weird statement that under doing this theology role, it allows you to get information about the holy symbols and practices of secret cults, such as the Mason. I think they meant Masons. And radical things like BLM and Antifa. Now, I have to wonder, since one of the authors, Justin Lanassa, is claims to be a 32nd degree Mason, is he letting us know, letting the cat out of the bag, breaking the golden rule, and letting us know that the Masons are a secret cult? Can we quote you on that, Justin? So that's the first weird thing here. But it was this weird obsession, and we saw in other places, one alien was they were weak, and they said, to give an example, like social justice warriors. So you had this weird obsession with the left, and it didn't make any sense. But that's not the worst obsession in Star Frontiers, and that's not, the worst thing that we're going to not mourn. The other was with obesity. Here under short-winded, when you come down to it, this flaw is automatic for obese characters. That's not the only time they bring up obese characters. When they were talking about the attractiveness score, you come down here and they're giving an example about a really attractive woman. Here we go. Let's just read it. Generally, a score of 18 is about as beautiful as one can be. Think of a tall, slender white woman with red hair and large breasts. Remember the large breasts. We're going to come back to that. This seems sexist, however, it is in fact human nature. She would be more desirable than, let's say, an overweight woman. Again with the obesity, but that's not it. Down here under flaws, we have noticeable deformity. You see the highlighted part here? Here's an example. Being obese is a noticeable. So there's this weird obsession with obesity. I don't understand, but that's not the only weird obsession in the Star Frontiers New Genesis rules. There's this weird obsession with charisma and good looks. So this is the check modifier for charisma. So there was an attractive score, but now there's charisma. Doesn't seem to be much difference between the two. But here under 7 to 9, we get this person is a plain Jane or homely, ordinary, also known as a butterface. This person, if female, can increase their score artificially with the use of cosmetics. Put on some eyeliner. Some shadow will do the trick. This can add 1d4 to the score temporarily. Here's my question. Does eyeliner work for a guy? I mean, what if you're a homely guy? Would a little eyeliner do the trick? It's not clear. It's just not clear. They're saying, if the barn door needs painting, go ahead and paint it. 10 to 13, this person has average looks and will benefit from cosmetics like the 7 to 9 range. 14 to 16, this person's good looking. People will be drawn to them in limited numbers. But again, cosmetics. Put on a little eyeliner. 17 to 18, this person is a head turner with naturally enhanced beauty and elegance. So if it's natural, why did it need to be enhanced? I don't understand. But apparently cosmetics are no longer needed. And then 19 to 21, this person is so attractive that they will cause heads to turn and people's hearts affected by the adrenaline rush. There's a 50% chance that the effect will not work on either sex. Okay. So roll 2d10, and if the roll is less than 50, the effect is active. So, all right, 2d10. Let's get a 2d10. I got 1 and 2. All right, so I got my 2d10, and we're going to roll them. And I got a 10 and an 8. That's 18. 2d10. We roll 2 10-sided dice, and you add them together. It's 2d10. Because if it was d100, we'd roll d100. We would use 10-sided dice differently, but it's 2d10. So we roll them, add them together. We got 18. It's less than 50. That means the effect's active. In fact, the highest you could roll with 2d10 would be a 10 and a 10, which would add together for 20, which would be less than 50. Why didn't they just make it automatic? I don't understand. This seems like some of the dumbest rules ever. That's another reason why nobody's going to mourn this. So moving right along with the weird obsessions, I already pointed out, pay attention, we're going to come back to breast, big breast. Here we have another weird obsession in this rule set that I've never seen in another rule set is large breast. So here you have the female uriad is slightly shorter than a male and has 4 breasts that increase in size by 50 to 75% when lactating. Somebody's got a weird fetish for large lactating breasts. It's not the only point. It's not the only one. Let's look at the next one here. Here in this creature, they're mammalian. They give birth to their young. The mother feeds them via mammary glands, of which they have 2. These glands look very much like human breast and tend to be larger than the typical human woman's breast. Again, with a big breast, connected to lactating and feeding young. I mean, it's a weird fetish. I don't know. Let's continue. Here's an example about looks concerning a gorgeous woman who is well endowed with near perfect figure, hair, chest, etc. She's well endowed, which generally means she's got breast. But then they go with near perfect figure, hair, chest. Again with that. They can't leave it alone. But they've given us a clue. I think all this obsession with breast, I think the clue is right here under number 5, socially inept. I think this is the clue from the writer. Your character is new to the social scene and very awkward towards the opposite sex. This will become evident when they, the opposite sex, least expect it. The GM will inform your character of the time. It is 5:04. You have so been informed of the time. Aside from the bad grammar, piss poor writing. I think this is the clue that I think they're letting us know what it is. They're socially inept, but they just can't help themselves. They're socially inept, but they're obsessed with breast. Under social interaction, we begin to get the other obsession. It's with transgenderedness. They are genuinely non-binary, not socially non-binary. Okay. Under Genesis core rules, look at this, bold. They put it in bold. No trans races. And then here again, under in core rules about the gender for this species, not let's read the whole entry. Sequential hermaphroditism. Male to female, female to male. It means one individual goes from male to just okay. But then they specify not to be confused with transgender. Can we quote you on that? Oh my God. And here we go again. This species, no trans races as they are male female appearance with no real sexual orientation. So this is their aborted cybots, transbots species. And we're going to see more where one writer asked the other writer, shouldn't we have a trans race? Oh, here it is. Justin, should we make a trans race, maybe transbots? Let me know, and I can add D for Dave Johnson. So here's the other thing. I'm wondering, repeatedly they tell us no trans races, but they're going to allow a transbot, a cybot race that's a transbot. Why? I think it speaks to another weird fetish, something involving toys, sex toys, maybe. And I don't know. Moving right along to other weird obsessions. We have an obsession concerning races. The Negro subrace. Tall, thick-bodied, dark skin, even dark purple, brown-eyed race with large strength. Average intelligence, all attributes are 10 plus range, except intelligence, which is maximum a +9. Can't be any higher than a 9. But let's take a look at the Nordics. A tall, blonde, blue-eyed race with exceptional attributes and powers. All attributes are in the 13 plus range. Nothing lower than 13. But poor dumb, and I'm saying this as commentary, poor dumb Negro race can't be any smarter than a 9. That's why nobody's going to mourn Star Frontier's New Genesis. Weird obsessions furthered here with this whole languages in American blacks use jive speak. What am I, back in the 70s watching Airplane? So and it's not unusual to think that all this stuff would be in there, because the writer, Dave Johnson, his Twitter feed was full of Nazi posts that these Nazi posts were preserved for us by No Hate in Gaming. No Hate in Gaming set up a site as a memorial, because I think No Hate in Gaming had an idea that the Twitter feed would disappear. That's another thing we lost. So we lost the game, Star Frontier's New Genesis. Nobody's going to mourn it. We have lost Dave Films US on Twitter. Nobody's going to mourn him, because, look at this. My favorite here, and I mean that sarcastically, is the in your heart, he was right. And the he who was pictured here is Adolf Hitler. This is just despicable and nasty. But we've lost Dave Films, and you can go. There is a memorial been set up, No Hate in Gaming's website. You can go there and leave flowers at the. If you are missing Dave, if you thought he was a hoot and you're missing him, you could go leave flowers at the No Hate in Gaming website. But we lost Dave, and I really don't think anybody's going to mourn for him. But he went on to found Nashville Publishing, a Substack. And so the Substack was then working on a new game, Crom the Unchained, a role-playing game. Sadly, Crom the Unchained is stillborn. We lost Crom because the Substack, Nashville Printing Substack, is now gone. No longer exists. And Dave Films is gone from Twitter. So we lost New Star Frontiers New Genesis. We lost Dave Films. We lost Nashville Printing. We lost Crom the Unchained. It's been a rough year. We also lost Mario 7754811860, also known as Mario 77. Do you remember Mario 77? Oh, this is from a different Mario. Mario 77 is Justin Lanassa, because here's a text message chain between him and Don. How the F was I blocked? Don, and then Don says, I'm not sure. What account are you talking about? I'm looking at your Facebook now. Is it online? No, my effing Mario account. How the hell would I know? I'm not on Twitter. I don't control them. Maybe it was all your nonsense. Even Don's not having Justin's nonsense at this point. You're pissing me off, Don. Justin, I'm burned out on all this. Every day it's more drama with you and TSR. Don't blame me for it. Drama caused by others, not me. I respond to them. Dave's a good guy and loyal, unlike Michael. Don says, Dave's a Nazi lover, Justin, no? Better than a trans lover. That's Justin's comment. Which makes you wonder, the trans obsession, since both Dave Johnson and Justin Lanassa are listed as authors. Here again, we got the obsession with the transgenderedness. So one guy's obsessed with big boobs that lactate, and the other guy's obsessed with transgenderedness. That must be the why there's so much different obsessions in that one rule set. I don't know. And then Steampunkette stated the obvious. Actually, no hate in gaming. Mario Real confirmed he was Justin when he mentioned Tencarp got his letter and threatened most of the rest of us to get one too. Tenkar got his letter from Justin's lawyers, not from Mario Real's lawyers. So he absolutely is an asshole. So he outed himself. But, when his account was suspended, we then got Mario 77 is back, which we all reported for violation of terms of service at Twitter. And that got suspended. And then we got Mario Real 087, it's a different number. And same old stuff. And Mario Real was back for a little bit and then gone, and because we reported. And then we got my most favorite, Jigglypoo. Oh, Jigglypoo. And Jigglypoo is now gone. And Jigglypoo, where are you? So nobody mourns for Adonis, and nobody is going to mourn for Star Frontiers New Genesis. It was a game with weird obsessions. It was supposed to be a sci-fi game, and yet it had magic and potions and undead and bards and clerics in it, which made no sense. And it went for the weird Dungeons and Dragons type alignments that a lot of sci-fi games just dispense with. They just don't go there. Your character is your character. So nobody's going to mourn Star Frontiers New Genesis. Nobody's going to mourn the weird sexual fetishes that were throughout the rules. Nobody's going to mourn the racism, the rampant racism that was being lived out vicariously through the rule system by an avowed Nazi. Nobody's going to mourn the sock puppets that attacked people's children and wives, and said the most horrific, nasty things possible. Because the gutless wonder that was hiding behind the sock puppet accounts, um, you know, just emboldened by the fact that nobody knows it's me. um, so, yet we knew it was him. Nobody's going to mourn the loss of those. So 2022, just like COVID, we're glad to see it in the rear view mirror. Gone and forgotten. But 2023 is here. Promises to be a better year. Here's to 2023. Jigglypoo, we don't miss you. This is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room. With all that we've lost in gaming for 2022, thank you for watching. I want to thank my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you've not subscribed, please do consider hitting the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Help me build a channel, or not. Keep on gaming.